before I had any knowledge of Bitcoin or of any of this. And I think the philosophy of sound money is one that pervades this whole arena, and very specifically this idea that, and this was again kind of origin vision of the company, that if you could take what we think of as money, which is essentially the direct obligations of a government, which is what fiat money is, and you could express that in a digital currency form and make it available through open protocols on the internet, the same way we have other things, that would dramatically change both the underlying safety of money and its general use and utility in the world. It would also open up extraordinary new opportunities for how you could arrange economic activity and financial activity. That was sort of the core idea as we started the company, and we could trace that through. But kind of fast forwarding, I'm getting to that weekend. But fast forwarding, we have always aspired to try and have a model where a digital dollar is what is the embedded risk, that a digital dollar should be as close as possible to a direct obligation of the government. And we've been advocating for that for a long time, for a full reserve digital currency banking model. And that separates essentially the base layer of money and the payment utility from lending activity. And
what's going on, coffee and crypto family? If you guys can hear me right now, if I'm clear, just drop some coffee in the chat box. Let me know everything is coming through. Welcome to my YouTube family. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash that like button. This is Coffee and Crypto episode number 102. I want to say what's up to my IG family as well. Let's go ahead and tune in. This is the 102nd 102 episode 102 of Coffee and Crypto. We're live on all podcast platforms, all spaces that you can stream this out on. I'm going to continue. And guys, if you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're tuning in on Instagram, click the link in my bio and make sure you guys pop in over on the YouTube channel. That way you can guys actually see the video content that we're sharing as well while we're talking. So with that being said, let's get to this call. I'm going to play a couple more minutes of this interview with Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle. And then we're going to dive into this bullish content that I have to show to you guys today. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm feeling extremely bullish. If you're feeling bullish, drop some coffee in the chat box. Drop some coffee in the chat box and let's light it up. Let's get it.
And that's because I believe that there is, a Chase dollar or a Silicon Valley Bank dollar or a First Republic dollar or a XYZ bank in the Bahamas dollar. I don't know what the risk is. Right. I don't know what that risk is. And so we've always wanted to move towards that and have been trying to move towards that. And I think we're going to get there, and we'll come back to that. But coming into that weekend, it does get to this core issue, which is that, cash, which everyone thinks is the safest thing in the world, is actually the IOU risk of the underlying bank. And so there was all this talk actually about, people couldn't make payroll, and there's probably a lot of companies here who couldn't make payroll or whatnot. Why is it that that base layer of money that's needed for payments needs to be subjected to all the risk taking and investment and lending basis there? So I think for one, coming into that weekend, one is absolutely total shock, right? Because I think it happened with incredible speed. I mean, the unraveling of Silicon Valley Bank was as fast as the unraveling of Terra Luna or FTX, and obviously SVB had nothing to do with crypto. And so we're seeing that literally today in the rising price of Bitcoin and the unraveling of First Republic Bank. And so, there is this issue and it persists. And the development of crypto and the vision of stablecoins has, for me at least, been how do you establish a safer and more capable internet superpower enabled dollar? And yes, we've kind of successfully navigated this crisis and have actually upgraded the market infrastructure behind USDC to be by far the strongest, safest digital dollar on the internet today, hands down. There's no question. Alternatives, we don't know much about. We don't know where they bank, what the risk is, anything. And so I think we have the greatest transparency and safety that's there today, but it's not safe enough. We need to go further, and for that, we need legal and regulatory changes.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, episode number 102. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you send this link out to your friends, your family. Let them know that we're on this call, man. Send this out to our Discord community. They know that we're here. So, at the end of the day, we can only save the willing, the people that truly want this information. I'm bullish today. I'm feeling real good, y'all. Man, how are you feeling? Just drop it in the chat box and let me know how you guys are feeling. YouTube, how you guys are feeling. Instagram, how you feeling. Just let me know how everybody is feeling. Bullish, awesome. All right, awesome. So what I want to do is I'm going to dive directly into today's call because we got a lot of content to share today. So let's get it popping. Second. Boom. All right. So very first video that I want to show, today is a video that I came across from Glenn Beck. He's a Radio Hall of Famer, digital disruptor. The guy is off the chain. I mean, he literally puts it out there the way that it needs to be put. And so Glenn Beck, he actually in his caption on Twitter, he says that the UN and global elites have taken us down a long road of dystopia that they keep having to rebrand every time we expose it. Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, the Great Reset, Build Back Better. This is all leading to the same dark future, the fundamental transformation of your life. We've been talking about this for literally, we've been talking about this consistently for so many episodes that I feel like, we're all experts at really paying attention to what's going on. But the way that Glenn Beck put it, and to understand that this agenda has been going on, this isn't something that's brand new. This is something that's been happening. They've been, because I think the idea is this, right? Before I even show the video, I believe what the idea is that they know that we continue as a people, we continue to get smarter. We grow in our understanding. We're becoming more enlightened, and we know what the agenda is. And so what they do is they'll rename it and rebrand it. And then when they rename it and rebrand it, you got to realize that they use the masses to push the agenda, right? So how do they use the masses? Now you're talking about now what we're talking about is the fourth industrial revolution. Now what we're talking about is the Great Reset. Now what we're talking about is a change in the financial system. But this is something that has happened literally for years. This has happened forever. So Glenn Beck broke it down all the way back to 1992, where he talked about the birth of Agenda 21. Pay attention to this video.
Agenda 21 was first introduced back in 1992. It was from the United Nations. Anybody who spoke out about it, they spoke out and said, they're going to start to take over the national parks and they want to have everybody live where they say. No, that's a conspiracy theory. Sound familiar? Then in 1997, they had the Kyoto Protocol. It was established to start taking Agenda 21 from concept to reality. In the end, too many nations, including us, pulled out. Remember the Kyoto Treaty? It's going to be bad for America. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. The rest of the timeline is everything I wish I would have known when we wrote Agenda 21. In 2015, Agenda 21 received its first rebranding. Okay, the UN now called it Agenda 2030. It was all the same crap, but we had done so much damage, you and me, by exposing it. It's like what's happening now to the World Economic Forum. Once you're on it and you know it and it makes sense, it spreads like wildfire and they can't dismiss you as a crazy kook anymore. So 2015 was also the year that they first started using Build Back Better and putting ESG in its place. The United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction used the words describing the need to make changes in the face of a disaster. I want you to read this document yourself, but a lot of the climate and equity mumbo jumbo that we're seeing actually enacted right now is described in these 37 pages. And similar to the Kyoto Protocol, the Paris Accord went into effect. Paris Accord went into effect in 2016 to start implementing Agenda 2030. But you remember, what was one of the first things Donald Trump did? He pulled us out of the Paris Accord, and that drove everybody crazy. We all cheered and we wondered why people cared so much on why was this so important? But something came back to put everything back on track. He railroaded it off the tracks. But what happened? COVID-19, the pandemic in 2019, 2020. This did what I never thought or could imagine would happen in America. It brought the world's corporate elites to move in parallel with the government policymakers. That brings us to today. You're here. The fundamental transformation of America. Those seeds were planted long ago, and Barack Obama said that we're 5 days away. This is what's happening.
The fundamental transformation of America. All right. This is what's happening. And so it's happening, and they don't hide it. They've been putting it in movies for years. They've been putting in songs. They have to let you know what is coming. And so now I want to dive into some legislation, some crypto stuff. So hot off the press, May 3rd, the US SEC changes its mind on officially labeling digital assets. This is a big problem. There was a new documentation that came out from the SEC. And at first they were going to define digital assets, which was the first step toward actually giving us the clarity that we need. Throughout this episode today, you're going to hear that word a lot in a lot of the videos, a lot of the content that we unfold together. You're going to hear about the clarity. People are like, hey, where is the clarity? These companies are begging, they're pleading for regulatory clarity. And so with them removing this labeling, with them changing their mind, with them reneging, now they're further putting us in delaying the outcome of what can happen and what is possible in this state when it comes to institutional backing of cryptocurrency on a more grander scale. Right. So the US SEC took one small step backwards in regulating the crypto sector on Wednesday when it erased what would have been its first formal definition. While the SEC has initially included the definition in its 2022 proposal to overhaul mandatory disclosures to hedge funds, the securities regulator yanked it in the final rule approved by the commissioners. The agency included a footnote to explain itself. It said the commission and staff are continuing to consider this term and are not adopting digital assets as part of this rule at this time. Okay, the agency is certainly continue to consider crypto matters, which have taken an outsized role in both its enforcement actions and its ongoing rule proposals, despite its decision to walk this one back. Okay, understand. They continue to sue companies, right? The SEC continuing to sue companies, continuing to send out Wells notices and doing all these different things. And so I'm telling you right now that the industry, not just the industry, but the courts are fed up with the SEC's BS. And so as you guys can see, literally as of today, so yesterday, the SEC pushed back on its role of clarity, its definition of what a digital asset truly is, right? To finally get that clarity. Now, the day after the courts, US court says, man, listen, SEC, you're tripping. So now they're ordering. Okay, the US court is ordering the SEC to respond to Coinbase allegations within 10 days. So they literally have 10 days from the day. So by the 14th, we need to hear back from the SEC in response to their allegations against Coinbase, all right, being an exchange that needs to, number one, come in and register, all right, under what? What are we coming in and registering under? That is the biggest question, right? So I want to play this quick video right here. I thought this video was great. This also is a video from Consensus 2023. Told you guys we're going to have a lot of content from Consensus to break down. So check this video and then we'll get back into this bullish content.
if it were simply the case that we were seeking to avoid regulation by labeling ourselves with some fanciful title and relying upon that label alone, I would be perhaps more sympathetic to the claims of the chair and others at the commission. But the fact of the matter is that we are sitting up here, literally sitting up here on stage, asking for regulation, asking for rules, asking for a framework that makes sense for our particular technology so that we can be registered, so that we can comply with the desire of the commission as it has stated, that companies like ours come into the regulatory perimeter in a way that would allow them to have oversight over our business. I don't think, though, it is reasonable to suggest that simply because we are pointing out all the ways in which registration today is impossible, that we are somehow acting in a disingenuous way or acting in bad faith. To be clear, we would like to be able to register, but it is not simply a matter of going to the website and downloading a form, as has been suggested. I invite any and all of you to go to that website, to download that form, and to see if you can register in the way that has been suggested. It can't be done.
So if you all remember, we showed a video of Gary Gensler on Twitter on the SEC page, basically saying how easy it was for these companies to come in and register with the Securities Exchange Commission. All they had to do was just go online, fill out. It's not that easy from what this gentleman is saying here. Okay, now moving forward. Okay, Consensus 2023. We had Patrick McHenry also who did a headline speech there. And so if you guys don't know who Patrick McHenry is, Patrick McHenry, he represents the citizens of North Carolina's 10th district in the United States Congress. He's also the chairman of the I believe it's the I don't want to get the name wrong. He is the chairman of basically the board for the House Representatives, the Financial Payment Services Committee. I believe that's what it is, the Financial Payment Services Committee. However, he is the chairman of that. And so so when Gary Gensler went in and they interviewed with that particular board, he is the chairman that leads that. And so this was a really, really dope segment of his interview
over the next
that I wanted to show that was directly on Consensus page here on Twitter. So check this video out.
Over the next 2 months is report a bill out that deals with both the capital raising piece for digital assets all the way through how a product can go from a securities regime to a commodities regime, and also at the same time preserve our right around products that are neither neatly into a securities or commodities regime, and the ability for people to exchange those things. So those are the two pieces of news: the joint hearing, and then our time frame. And our time frame is a purposeful one to get fast action out of our committees. We've worked on it. We've worked on these matters for months, and in fact years, in coming together with policy. But we're going to have public hearings for the next couple of months and and build out a bill that deal out of the Ag Committee, now the Financial Services Committee, that does what is necessary for bringing clarity to digital assets.
Yeah, so it was the Financial Services Committee. So he is the chairman of that committee. And yeah, it's a bipartisan committee. There's both Republicans, Democrats. This is why it's hard to get things done. It's so sad because in a lot of other countries, they are moving forward and they're getting things done. And we're going to show you what's going on in other countries here in a second. I'm really excited. I have some stuff to show you guys about on the healthcare front with crypto. It's a lot of things. And so really want to show you guys the utility that's happening now. Also have a video to show from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. He actually met live yesterday. And Coinbase gave us a little clipping of it. And so he was talking about a recession is coming, and he's hoping that it's a mild recession.
But I do think that the situation in the labor market with so much excess demand, yet, wages have been moving down. Wage increases have been moving down. And that's a good sign, down to more sustainable levels. So I think it's still possible. I think, the case of avoiding a recession is, in my view, more likely than that of having a recession. But it's not that the case of having a recession is, I don't rule that out either. It's possible that we will have what I hope would be a mild recession.
So what he hopes would be a mild recession. Now, let's go and really take a look. We're about to deep dive into this, guys. So go ahead and drop some coffee in the chat box if you're with me. However, let's get into it. So this past Monday, we found out that JP Morgan Chase has purchased an agreement with the FDIC to acquire First Republic Bank, all of their assets and all of their depositors. So now all of those bank branches, they had about 86 branches. Each one of those branches are now being switched over as of Monday. So today, if you are with First Republic, right? Now, here's the thing. Right. And let's be real. Let me just come to y'all to the stage real quick. Drop a 7 if you know someone that has First Republic Bank. YouTube, Instagram, let me know. Who knows somebody? If you know somebody with First Republic Bank, drop a 7. I'm about to prove a point. Okay. So Jare knows someone with First Republic. Okay. I don't know nobody with First Republic. Right. I know somebody with Wells Fargo. I know somebody with Chase. I know somebody, but it ain't that many 7s, right? So, perfect, right? Car loans, student loans, cool. Now, on YouTube, I don't see a 7. IG, I don't see a 7. The reason why I wanted you guys to drop a 7 is to prove a point. There were people that invested into this stock, right? First Republic was public on the stock market, right? The banking sector is probably the worst sector to invest in, period, right? Like you should not be investing into, not saying you shouldn't be, but the banking sector just is not really a sector. Unless you're investing into like the top 3 banks, right? Then you might be cool, right? But for the most part, the banking sector is not the most reliable. It's not the best sector to invest in on the stock market. So knowing that, I personally would not be investing into First Republic. I would not be having my money in First Republic Bank as an investment idea. All right. So for people who lost money through that stock because it crashed, it plummeted, that's a lesson learned, is that when you're investing into these companies, and this relates back to crypto, you want to really look at it and see who's using it, right? If we look right now, I'm using an Apple phone, I'm using an Apple computer, right? So I have 2 Apple products. Majority of you all are watching probably on an Apple product right now, right? A lot of people use Apple. So the fact that I can see all these people using it, that is the reason why you actually want to invest into it, is because of the fact that people are using it. If people are using it, but if nobody's using it, AKA First Republic Bank, then why would you even put your money into it? So that's just my mindset when it comes to investing, right? Period. Now we move on. And today, okay, PacWest, which is Pacific West Bank, says it's in talks with potential partners after the share has plunged. So literally a couple days later, another regional bank, all right, out of California has literally taken a plunge in its stock. It's down 40%. Watch this video from Bloomberg.
You mentioned it earlier, PacWest Bancorp, which is a regional bank, ironically based in Beverly Hills, where you are, Romaine, is falling in after-hours trading. It's tumbling right now by 42% after saying it's weighing strategic options, which basically means it's looking for a possible buyer. So we wanted to bring in Herman Chan, senior U.S. regional bank analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence. Herman, can you tell us a little bit about PacWest's business and who it's making loans to?
Sure. So really the issue is that when SVB was facing issues with deposit outflows with its technology and venture capital clients, PacWest was facing the same because they do also bank with startups and those same cohort of customers, just not to the same extent. So PacWest saw some declines in deposits in the first quarter, but to their credit, they saw about a 2% increase in deposits in April. So it seemed like things were stabilizing. Now we're getting some news that they're looking for strategic alternatives, which does upend some of that thinking.
Right. And I wanted to touch on that point because the earnings report last month had indicated things had calmed down. What do you think it is that sparked this latest round of perhaps depositors pulling out money? Is it the stock price falling? Is it First Republic being absorbed by JP Morgan?
Yeah, unfortunately, with the market being so negative on regional banks now, after the failure of First Republic, the spotlight really shone to other banks like PacWest, and the share price decline yesterday probably spook some of the depositors to exit the institution, is my guess.
Okay, so that's where I want to go to next, because so many people say the stock price is not the balance sheet. It does not reflect the balance sheet. Yet we see time and again that when the stock price tumbles, something happens and the bank is forced into this defensive position. Can you explain that connection?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's the dog wagging the tail wagging the dog is the expression, right? So the stock price can be a vote of confidence for a bank, because really banks are require confidence for the institution to thrive and survive. So if that confidence leaves, then depositors can potentially leave that balance sheet and really destabilize the entire operations of the bank.
So talk about how the FDIC fits in here, because they kind of took the First Republic seizure very slowly. They tried to wait it out and see if a buyer would emerge. How do you think they'll proceed with PacWest, given that the FDIC needs to replenish its insurance fund? Yeah,
that's a good question.
Y'all, do y'all see what is happening? And I know y'all up on it, you know what I mean? But y'all, I'm talking to the people that's going to catch this video later on after the live, right? The people that's going to catch the recording on YouTube, and they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be like, what is going on? Do y'all see what's happening? We are literally in, YG said it, YG said it in the song. Like I told y'all, they put it in the music. He said, big bank take little bank. Big bank take little bank. Big bank take little bank. That's literally what's happening right now. Big bank is taking little bank. It's happening right here, guys.
The regulators, in conjunction with the largest regional banks and the largest banks in the United States, tried to save it with the $30 billion deposit injection. Unfortunately, ultimately, that wasn't a successful venture. I'm not sure we're going to see that same sort of attempt for further banks down the road. So maybe the FDIC would come in and be a bit more proactive in dealing with these potential troubled institutions going forward.
I got to also ask you about another name, which is Western Alliance, because yesterday when we really saw the regional banks tumble anew, it was PacWest and Western Alliance that were falling the most.
Right.
What do we know about Western Alliance? It's based in Arizona, so it's not a California-based bank.
Right.
And so I'm guessing it's not catering to the same startup founders and tech companies that PacWest, First Republic, and Silicon Valley Bank did.
It's a small subset of the deposits that are also tech and VC related, which is why it's been in the spotlight. But we've seen also credible path forward from them in terms of increasing their capital ratios, selling assets, seeing a much more increase in insurance across their deposit base. And like PacWest, they saw about a 2% increase in deposits in April. So from that standpoint, things seem to have stabilized on that front.
If the bank executives were to be asked, how much do you think they'll blame short sellers for just poking holes and looking for vulnerable banks here?
I think a majority of them would. For example, Western Alliance actually put out a slide in their first quarter deck that showed put option buying that really sank the stock in March. So that's something that is on the minds of a lot of bank management teams.
Yeah, as investors look for the next vulnerable bank in trying to fend off these higher rates and higher costs of funding. Herman, really appreciate your joining us on this instant analysis.
So let's keep pushing forward, right? So PacWest and other regional banks. So we're literally in a banking war right now. We are witnessing the banking industry becoming a monopoly, right? We're literally witnessing these 8 to 9 most powerful banks in the US. There's 8 to 9 powerful banks in Europe, right? So it seems like each country has about 8 to 9 large, too big to fail banks. Okay, so wanted to go and look at the actual stock, right? So if you guys take a look, I mean, as we're on this call, this thing is bearish, y'all. Like this is bearish. So this is Pacific West Bank Corp. This is on the monthly chart. So we've literally just over the last, let's see, 3 days, right? The last 4 days since the month started, three days though, right? Let's see what we've seen we've seen a, look at that right there. Look at that. Boom, right? 73%, okay? Now, if we go from the very top, we come all the way down, right? We can see that this thing is almost down 100%, right? Literally on March 1st, right? On March 1st, we saw the price of PacWest being at around $49 per share. Today, we are tanking and currently we're at $2.76 per share. That's scary, all right? Then we have Western Alliance Bank Corp, right? Which is the second one that is, looks like it is losing everything, right? We saw from in November, right? November of 2021, right? This was November of 2021. We saw it at $119. Since 2021, since COVID pretty much, right, was ending, okay, the whole, everything that they were promoting and stuff like that, as that was kind of declining, and we were going more into a digital banking economy, this regional bank has been imploding. It has been going down. So we're down to from $120 to about $13 today. That's a huge drop, all right, in momentum. Now, Mario Nawful, he actually said, he had put some stuff out that I thought was interesting, but something that I wanted to show you all that I thought was pretty interesting to just go and see, just to take a look at really fast, is this, okay? So I want y'all to pay attention. Now, here's a list of the banks, the top 8 banks that are too big to fall. You have Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, BNY Mellon, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan, and State Street. These are the money mafia. This is the money mafia. Now let's go pay attention to this percentage chart right here. So this is the percentage chart, I believe, of how much we've seen the banks fall. I don't know the time frame. I couldn't tell you that unless he tells us. Yeah, I don't know. So, but what I can show you is this. Okay, Morgan Stanley, okay, is only down 0.31%. It's down, but it's down 0.31. Goldman Sachs, 0.32. HSBC, 0.43. Credit Suisse, 0.44. Citigroup, JP Morgan, all of these, the largest banks are under 1%. Then you have Wells Fargo that's right at 1% down, right? It's not until you get to these regional banks like Zions Bank Corp, right? Like Direxion, like Valley National, like Western Alliance, right? New York Community Bank, Bank OZK. Okay, these banks are down 5% or more. But the largest banks that's on this list that we just looked at, these banks are literally under 1%. They're all under 2%. None of the largest banks in the world, except for maybe, let's see, was Charles Schwab on the list? Nope, not even Charles Schwab is on this list of 8 too big to fail banks. So you got to understand that it's levels to this. Somebody drop big bank, take little bank in the chat box, right? It's levels to this. Okay, let's keep pushing forward. Now we move into, on May 1st, there's new negotiations on new BRICS currency underway as nations push to abandon the US dollar. I don't know if you all heard, but there's about, I believe it was maybe four or five countries in the Middle East that are applying to join the BRICS nations as of yesterday. Crazy. The BRICS nations is growing, and it looks like it's becoming the new United Nations, right? These nations are uniting. Okay, so a top Russian lawmaker says world leaders have officially started working on an agreement to create a new global currency that does not utilize the US dollar. All right, we know it's coming. Okay, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, for those that needed that education. That's what BRICS stands for. Okay, now, the mechanism of the new currency from BRICS have not been finalized. However, it will reportedly be backed by gold and potentially additional precious metal and assets. Okay. By linking its economy and currency to politics, the US is practically undermining the foundations of its dominance. Understand that if they choose gold as the new as the asset that backs this new currency, all right, that they're going to utilize, understand that they're going to use a digital version, right? Everything's going to be tokenized on the blockchain. And so all of this is leading into what's happening. The US sanctioned Russia. They've sanctioned China before. They've sanctioned Saudi Arabia before. They've sanctioned Iraq before. So understand that Korea, like all of these countries have went through some sort of sanctioning from the G7, right? The global seven, the global elite. They've sanctioned them before, right? And now we turn around and you're like, the BRICS nation is saying, well, you can't sanction us if we disconnect from the US dollar. And so now we're seeing it. See, if you mess around long enough, you're gonna find out, right? And I don't want, and mess around ain't even the word I really want to use, but I don't want to just be cursing all willy-nilly. All right, y'all know what I'm trying to say. If you mess around long enough, you gonna find out. So let's listen to this video from Jim Rickards. He predicted long ago, right? But the video had been deleted, some of the sound cut off of Twitter. And so, so we've been able to find, Digital Asset Investor has found a good clip of this. And I thought it was pretty interesting. So I wanted to share it with you all. Enjoy this video.
So here's a preview of the future. When I say the future, everything on the slide is already in development or working. So this is not science fiction. This is not something for the 22nd century. It's happening now. Basically, China and Russia are building their own cryptocurrency system. Now, when I say cryptocurrency, don't go out and buy Bitcoin. I don't like Bitcoin. I think it's the worst thing you could do. But the world of cryptocurrencies is not limited to Bitcoin. There are actually over 2,000 cryptocurrencies, some of them quite small. But you can go home tonight with the right software. You could invent your own cryptocurrency called the Icon coin. But Russia and China are developing their own. What used to be called the blockchain, today people call it the distributed ledger. So this is distributed ledger technology. They're developing their own coin or token. It'll be heavily encrypted, military-grade encryption, with their own pipes, meaning their own kind of private internet. And imagine an economy that looks like the following. So Iran sells oil to China. North Korea sells weapons to Iran. China sells infrastructure to Russia. Russia sells weapons to China. Russians take a vacation in Turkey because it's a pretty country, and so on. So I've just described a whole trading network, and imagine it's all done with this cryptocurrency. So all we do is keep score. And you can keep score with baseball cards, bottle caps. I mean, it doesn't have to be money to keep score. It's just a way of keeping track. Pegged to the SDR, the special drawing right, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Managed through a cryptocurrency system that's encrypted and
so I tell people all the time, all right, and this guy pretty much just proved the theory, like literally what I say. I say all the time, stop thinking of this as just money. Cryptocurrency is far beyond that. This is a way for data to be exchanged, any sort of data to be transferred from one place to another place in a way that is safer, faster, more ecologically sound, more economically sound, just everything, right? Like more transparent. It's just a better experience. So why would companies, why would banks, why would people not choose this level of sovereignty?
And secure. And then every now and then, once a month, once a quarter, once a year, we look at the chits and we decide who owes what to whom, and we settle up in gold. And we put the gold on a plane, fly it over to the other guy, and there it is. So this is a combination of a 21st cryptocurrency system with a 19th century or 5th century BC, if you like, gold system. You're combining the two, the oldest form of money and the newest form of money. Notice what's missing in everything I just described. No dollars. There's no dollar in that system. The SDR, the cryptocurrency, gold, the ledger, the trading network, all play a role, but there's no dollar in that system. That's what we're moving up towards.
Right. And I just showed you guys that because of what? Negotiations of new BRICS currency underway as nations push to abandon the US dollar. There's no dollar in our new system. All right. Bank of England update. To update the CHAPS real-time gross settlement to ISO 20022 by this June 2023. Literally, we're 1 month away.
Everything cuts over that single weekend. The Bank of England moves to ISO 20022 for CHAPS real-time gross settlement.
Hold on, wait. Did y'all hear what he said in the beginning? Listen.
Everything cuts over that single weekend.
Over that single weekend.
The Bank of England moves to ISO 20022 for CHAPS real-time gross settlement in a move that it calls Transition State 2.1 in June of this year. By which time, of course, we're all going to be experts because we'll have been using ISO 20022 for regular bank-to-bank payments for a good 3 months by then. Some of you may have detected a certain amount of creative cynicism in my tone, and I don't actually mean it to be cynical, but it is a new language. Everything cuts over that single.
All right. So a new language is amongst us, right? A new financial language. And so I went to the Bank of England's website because I wanted to make sure you guys know I love to play videos, of course, but I also like to dive into documentation. So it talks about real-time gross settlement renewal program. Okay. This infrastructure is what holds accounts for banks, building societies, and other institutions. The balances in these accounts can be used to move money in real time between these account holders. This delivers final and risk-free settlement. So this is what this new real-time gross settlement service is all about. Now, on December 5th of 2022, they announced that the migration of CHAPS to ISO 20022 messaging will now occur on June 19th of 2023 rather than in April of 2023 in light of the ECB's own migration moving from November to March of 2023. On February 13th, the bank announced that Transition State 3, the introduction of the new RTGS core ledger and settlement engine, will take place in summer of 2024 rather than previously indicated spring 2024, right? So guys, all I see is that, again, they're already connected to this. They're already building out the infrastructure. They're building out the APIs. They're doing everything. And we all know that the final year of settlement for ISO 20022 to be in final effect is by 2025. Make sure you guys go and do this research. Go to Google right now. Type in ISO 20022 if you do not know what that is. That's ISO 20022. Look that up. And look how that correlates to crypto, how that correlates to distributed ledger technology, and how that correlates to our traditional financial system. And you go and do your own research to make sure that you're up on game and you know what is going on. Okay. Also pulled the document from the Bank of England's RTGS renewal program senior sponsor body. And it was kind of just interesting to see who are members of their sponsoring body. Obviously, you have the Bank of England, but then you also have Barclays. You have Bank of New York Mellon, which again is on the list of the too big to fail banks. You have Citibank, which is on the list of too big to fail bank. Okay, so you have two of the largest banks in the United States that are part of this membership council. That right there should tell you. And each one of those banks have a direct relationship with one of these distributed ledger technology companies, whether that be Ripple, Stellar, XDC, Quant, Hedera. One of these tokens, they have relationships with one or multiple, because remember, there's not going to be just one blockchain that's going to be used, but there'll be multiple blockchains that'll be used for different reasons. And then there will be this interoperability where they'll all work as one, right? That is the goal for the world. Okay. Now, Mason, Crypto Mason, he posted this and I was, it was kind of dope to see, and I wanted to kind of dive deeper into this company that I just found, which is called Juniper Research. Does anybody know what Juniper Research is? Let me know in the chat box if you guys know what that is. But they just ranked Ripple as the #1 for being an established leader in CBDCs. So Juniper Research has now announced Ripple and ranked them #1. So Ripple's #1 in their eyes as a CBDC, as a blockchain for CBDCs to be built on. That is extremely bullish, because if I take you over here to Juniper Research's page, this is their Twitter, okay? They've actually been doing awards lately. They've been doing these different award ceremonies, but there was something that I wanted to pull up. And I don't know if you all ever heard of this before, but it was something new. It's not new. I know what it was. I didn't know what it was called, right? But how many people know what open banking is? Does anybody know what open banking is? Have you guys ever heard of that before? Well, open banking use will surge as open banking API calls to grow 470% globally by 2027. Open banking is really, really interesting. So I pulled up a Forbes article from Forbes Digital Assets, and they have an article from back in August 16th of last year. And they said, how ready are enterprises for open banking, blockchain, and digital currencies? Okay, and so what is open banking? So open banking allows customers to share their personal and financial data with third parties they trust, such as tech startups and online financial service providers. Banks open up their APIs, which creates opportunities for these non-banks to offer apps that provide fast payments, helpful account information, and other services. Currently, the major business opportunity is with customers who are attracted to financial services that are more visible, simpler to use, and easier to track. So think about it. You have all these third-party apps out here that AI apps, all these different apps that are helping consumers, helping people, regular retail investors, and just working citizens that have bank accounts manage their money better, do all these things. And so remember, when you sign up for these third-party services, what do you got to do? You have to check the terms and conditions. And a lot of us don't really go in and we don't really read the terms and conditions and what that really does to what that really allows for them to do. So now JP Morgan, these larger companies, they now get to become smarter through these APIs because of these third-party companies, which technically they probably are invested in and own anyway. You know what I mean? So you guys, so all of us, not just you guys, but all of us are going and we're checking these terms and conditions with these third-party apps that we're building, and we're opening ourselves up to open banking without us even knowing. And so I pulled up a quick, let's say 3-minute video. Pay attention. And if you're on IG, just listen in. Don't go nowhere. This is for your future. This video was from a man named Imran. I can't even pronounce his last name, okay? He said, why open banking is the future of fintech. Pay attention, people.
That's not bad, actually. I think that's 50%, might be a little bit more. You'll be interested to know that a survey that we just ran over at the Open Banking Implementation Entity, which I think is going to come out in the next couple of days, suggests that 40% of the UK consumer already knows what open banking is. That's very high, considering there are no real products out there in the market and it's not live at all yet. Amongst the 60.
Okay, first off, wait. Let me be real. So this video is from 2019. This video is from 2019. So just understand that what he's talking about, where he was like, these percentages of, this is from 2019. Mind blowing.
It's 24-year-old demographic. It's around about 55%. So this room here is actually quite symbolic of the country as a whole. Kind of surprising. Now, what I really want to do is make sure, my job here today is to leave you with two thoughts. One thought is I want to convey the potential that open banking has to change the industry. I think it's going to be a seismic change. And number two is that after 2 years of working on this, I want you to get a sense that open banking is imminent. And 2019 really is the year that open banking is going to become a mainstream thing. And I'll give you a couple of reasons as to why that is just in a second. The way that I like to structure the short time I've got with you here is I just do a quick refresher on why we're doing open banking, why it's so important, why the government have really got behind this. I'd like to explain a little bit about what open banking is, just a very high level, talk to you a little bit about how we're delivering it. I won't get too techie, even though this is wired. And then finally, I'd like to end up with where we're at, because that's critical for figuring out how we're going to position ourselves around this. So why are we doing this? Why has government got so behind open banking? Well, the reason is data has value.
Data
and this
has
is why
value.
you guys get all that. You've gotten that for a long period.
So number one, data has value. Understand that all them utilizing these APIs for open banking, they have to these companies have to safely secure this data. Blockchain technology is the way to go. Keep paying attention.
Time, but the penny is dropping elsewhere in the economy. The data's got value, and the data that the bank holds on the customer belongs to the customer, not to the bank. That's a fundamental realism or premise that the government has. It's writ large in European legislation. You'll have been pestered by it. It's called GDPR, but that fundamentally enshrines the fact that the data belongs to you, the consumer, or to the SME, not to the financial institution. And if you as a consumer want to use that information to get access to better products and better services, it's entirely your right to do so. That's what open banking is trying to deliver. So really what it's doing in some respects is rebalancing the power between the consumer and the SME and the financial institution. And this is something that isn't just pertinent to banking, but there is a read across to many other sectors. And if we get time, we can talk about that as well. So what open banking really is trying to do is that what it really does is it holds the promise of making finance more convenient, better tailored, and fundamentally smarter. I'll explain a little bit about how it does that in a second.
All right, so check this out, right? Check this out. Anytime that somebody's going to give you something, right? I'm not gonna lie, it ain't many people in the world that's gonna give you something and not expect something in return, right? Coffee and crypto, let's be transparent. You come on here, I give you information, 102 episodes. I'm giving you information with hopes in return that you will join my community because you like me, because you get value, because you can see us working further together, right? That is why I give, is because I have an expectation on the back end, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's business. So understand that if they're going to make finance easier, more transparent for you, what's on the other side for them? Think about it, family. Let's keep pushing forward. So Juniper Research, they talked about open banking. Guys, really go look up open banking. But then Juniper Research, they also announced the winners of the Future Digital Awards for Digital Health Innovation 2023. They announced this on April 26, guys. This just happened at their Digital Health Innovation Summit 2023. A lot of us ain't even know about this, but let's go and see. Let's go and see what's going on, right? So the judge's choice right? Excellence in digital health innovation. It's a company called Vivalink, right? Here's right here, therapeutic and remote health, right? Therapeutic and remote health. These are all types of companies that are leveraging different types of technology. But one of the companies that I want to point out right here, they won an award. They won a gold. They were a gold winner for the most innovative telemedicine solution. They won most innovative telemedicine solution, but then they also, all right, let's come down here. Okay, they also won a gold award for edge computing innovation in healthcare. Edge computing innovation in healthcare. This company is called Safe Health on their Safe platform. If you guys did not know, okay, I wanted to pull this up, all right, but the gold award, this is directly on the Juniper Research's page. Now, something that was crazy was this. If you go to Safe's website, they say digital health and connected diagnostic platform, okay? Integrated connected care solutions. I'm about to show you guys what technology company you guys are already investing into, or you should be investing into based off of what we've talked about on this show, right? Look at this. Interoperability is directly on their page. Interoperability. That is a huge blockchain word, okay? Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. Digital healthcare, right? Private, secure, compliant, right? These are all the things that you're going to be able to do. Keep your passport, your vaccine passport on this app, right? This company is creating the vaccine passport that everybody's going to have in the future, right? Yes, it's coming. So what technology is behind this? What can you be investing in to make sure that at least you're financially astute? At least you're in a financial place where you can afford to move around. Maybe if you need to leave the US or you need to leave your country, at least you'll have some type of money because you invested early into this technology. So what are we talking about? Let's scroll down. Oh yeah, I'm so excited to let you guys know, okay, that the Safe Health system was built directly on Hedera Hashgraph. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Safe Health Systems builds digital health ID system on Hedera Hashgraph to enable home COVID-19 testing on your mobile phone. How bullish is that? Woo! How bullish is that? Are y'all rocking with me or what? I told you I'm only bringing you the best investments ideas in the world. And it's through research. I already knew about this from like early last year. Like this bin came out. This was October of 2020. I found out about this in like 2021. This is why I really went crazy with Hedera, because I'm like, yo, this company, Safe, is about to change everything. Y'all see this? Look at this right here. Look, let's read more. Mayo Clinic and Safe Health Systems launch new diagnostics platform, right? Mayo Clinic. Do y'all know what the Mayo Clinic is? Look at this. Arizona State University. Dr. Michael Crow explains how ASU is handling the coronavirus with Health Check app. The Health Check app, which is partnered with Safe, meaning the Health Check app is built on what? Hedera Hashgraph. Come on, y'all. Look at this. Microsoft, Epic, Mayo Clinic join effort to accelerate digital COVID-19 vaccine records. All of this being built on the Safe protocol. Hedera Hashgraph. Congratulations if you bought some. Okay. And last but certainly not least, okay, this came out April 3rd. I did not get to go over this on the last episode, so I wanted to make sure I got into this. However, Tranglo announced that global means no separates ration. Our first large-scale expansion to Europe will offer more value to our partners regarding cross-border payment speed and coverage. Guys, y'all already know who Tranglo is partnered with, right? Everybody knows who Tranglo is partnered with, right? Directly on Tranglo's website, okay, they let you know right here. Look at this. Tranglo is a cross-border payment hub with a proven track record in business payment, foreign remittance, and mobile payment solutions. Founded in 2008, we have offices in Lumpur, Singapore, Jakarta, Dubai, and London. Our global network spans more than 150 countries, 600 mobile operators, 1,300 bank/wallets, and 140,000 cash pickup points. Tranglo is a proud partner of Ripple, the leading enterprise blockchain solutions for global payments. We now offer enhanced cross-border payout services with an even broader coverage through RippleNet. Tranglo just entered the Europe market. It's right here. They just entered the European market. Here's the article from back in the day. All right. Tranglo partners with Ripple to provide accessible and equitable financial services to the public. To the public. I mean, hey, that's all I have for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. This was episode number 102. Now what I would love is for anybody that has anything that you like, learned, or love. If you have a question for me, man, feel free to click, raise those hands up and let me know. But man, this was a bullish episode, man. It just seems like it keeps getting more bullish and more bullish. Now to continue to push this thing out to more people, the masses, you know what I mean? Letting people know about what we're doing, because people are going to miss, I don't want nobody to miss out on this, but I know that everybody can go. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions, anything you like, learned, or love from today? Feel free to raise your hand. I got to hear from at least one person. So would love to hear from you guys. Get out your comfort zone. If you're one of those people that don't never talk, get out your comfort zone and, say something today. Say something today. I challenge you to say something today. That's what I challenge. I challenge you to say something today. I challenge you to get out your comfort zone, right? And while we're waiting on people to raise their hand, I got a couple of announcements. So the Coffee and Crypto shirts. How many people like these shirts? If you want one of these shirts, just go ahead and drop some fire, drop some love. If you would like a Coffee and Crypto shirt, just drop some coffee in the chat box. But we have quite a few. Actually, I have 2 more designs that's coming. Each shirt has been designed by the Blue Factory. Shout out to Chris, Mr. Blue, for designing our shirts. These shirts will be available tomorrow. I'm pushing for tomorrow. We'll have the website up, and everybody will be able to go and grab your shirt. We have coffee mugs that's coming as well. Coffee and Crypto coffee mugs. We have a bunch of stuff that's coming. So please be on the lookout. For sure, I appreciate you guys as well on IG for supporting as well. You guys can just click the link in my bio on tomorrow. I also make a video. Y'all already know I'm gonna make a commercial. Y'all know how I do it, so we're gonna get it popping. So shirts are coming out, merch. What else? If you are interested in joining our private community, our Discord community, you can now join the Coffee and Crypto private community. That way you can get all of the episodes, all of the stuff, all of the private content, everything that we drop inside of our Discord. You guys will be able to have access to that. I'm staying organized, y'all. I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I'm learning. So I'm writing down every day. I'm writing down my top 5 goals. And one of my goals is to make sure that I'm always uploading our data and stuff into the Discord group. So, always got to be practicing those things. Let's see. What else do I have to announce? Oh, yeah. I have 4 slots left for private mentorship. I just had another guy join. So we have 4 slots left for the year at $6,000. Okay. If you're looking for me to be your personal coach, if you trust me, $6,000. All right, I got 4 slots left. Transparently, it's a $2,000 down payment. And then you also are able to pay on a month-to-month for the remaining of that balance. So, you know, if you are interested, I'm also doing an $1,000 back incentive for the first 10 people. So technically it's not 6,000, actually 5,000, because I'm going to give you $1,000 back. And that $1,000 that you're going to get back, that incentive for the first 10 people is going to be basically for us to work with that $1,000 to kind of look at some different assets that you can diversify into so that you can do your research and then you can go and invest into them if it's something that you believe in. So if you guys are interested in that coaching program, it's that. After these 10 slots are up, this coaching program is going up. The price will go up. Okay. So 4 slots left on that. First come, first serve. Any other updates? We have some interviews that's coming, some sponsorships, some partnerships. I am launching the official VeChain interview at Consensus 2023. I did a interview with Sebastian. He's the lead tech developer for VeChain. They talk about a new wallet that they have coming out. They talk about the VeChain ecosystem, all of the updates, things that you guys can be excited for. So if you are a VeChain investor, I will be dropping that VeChain, the full interview on our YouTube channel at Coffee and Crypto Podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the @Coffee and Crypto, and make sure you put podcast, because there are other people that's trying to do what it is that we do out here. Okay, so make sure you type in Coffee and Crypto Podcast. Go subscribe to that YouTube channel, subscribe to our Instagram, and stay plugged in. And with that being said, those are all of our I got one more announcement. We have next weekend, on next Saturday, before I get ready to get out of here. Actually, it might be on Friday. It's probably going to be on next Friday. So y'all have 1 week, okay, to get your tickets to the XRP Masterclass. If you would like tickets to the XRP Masterclass, just go ahead and drop a 7 in the chat box. Let me know if you're interested. What I wanted to do is I'm going to do something special for everybody that's on the call, obviously. If you came to the last one, you pay the exact same amount. So you don't have to worry about anything. So if you guys came to the last one, y'all know how to do it. Just text me, say, hey, I'm interested. Just text me on the side. Let me know. That way I can line you up. And you would just pay the same price. There's no increase in price for people that supported me on my very first masterclass. Now, for y'all that didn't support, for y'all that couldn't support, or for y'all that weren't interested in supporting, it's all good. I got something special for you this time. Okay. What we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to give you, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $50 off of the masterclass. So masterclass is going to be $200. You'll get it for $150. And then what I'll do is, to make up for the other 50, because remember the masterclass was $200. To make up for the other 50, I'm gonna also send you a free code to my newest book, which is Mo Crypto, Mo Problems. So you'll get a ticket and you'll get a book to read, which is a $50 book. The book's value is $50. Okay, so there you go. That's your $200 offer. You get $50 off, and then I'm giving you a free $50 book where you can go and read it. If that's fair, light it up. Okay, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, light it up and just let me know. But hey, that's what I will do for you guys. So if you're interested, make sure you guys text me. Text me at my phone number. The phone number for Coffee and Crypto is this number right here, and I'll make sure you guys have it. It's 678-688-3251. Again, that number is 678-688-3251. Okay. And what you can do is text that number over masterclass. Okay. Send the word masterclass over to that number. And I'll make sure that I get you guys plugged in. Again, that number is 678-688-3251. Text the word masterclass to that number. That'll come directly. And I'll know that you're interested, and we'll get you squared away with the link to actually get prepaid and started with this masterclass. With that being said, those are all the announcements that I have. I appreciate you guys and your patience, and I'm going to call on my brother, Mo.
Yo, how y'all doing today? All I want to say is if y'all ain't taking this information in and taking heed to this information, something wrong with y'all. My brother get on here and drop too much information day after day after day after day after day for nobody to take heed to it, man. The world is changing. He's on the forefront. He's on the front line, and he's making sure everybody get acclimated with the things that they need and the things they need to have before they step in to this new evolution of life that we're all taking a part of, man. All I gotta say is I love y'all. I love you, bro, for always taking heed. So, a salute to you for taking heed and stepping on the front line to make sure everybody get what they need. You're a wise soul. You're a divine soul, bro. And anybody who's close to you, bro, is literally have access to radiate all of that power, that knowledge, and that information and the security they need off of you, bro. And if y'all ain't doing that, then y'all wilding. Drop some heat in the chat box for my brother. He always come up here. He always drop that heat. He always bring the love. And if you ain't showing no love, then get the hell on. Let's go. Let's go. Shouts out to you, bro. I love you. Keep doing your thing.
Love you too.
Big VO in the building. The #1 speaker in the world.
That's love, right?
You, bro. It's all love.
Already. Miss Dench, I just got your text. Look, I'm paying. Hey, I got the phone set up. Hey, we got shout out to the new studio. You know what I mean? Coffee and Crypto got a studio. You know what I mean? This is an official studio too. Look, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all the studio real quick. Show y'all. Y'all my community. So I'm gonna let y'all see. We got the new studio. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look at that. New studio. New studio. You know what I mean? Everything works out in our favor. You know what I mean? Everything works in your favor. You know, that's the energy you got to just roll with. You know, everything works in your favor, right? So I love y'all, man. Shout out to everybody that took the time to hop on here. If there's nobody else that has anything, thank you so much. If there's nothing that nobody would like to say, feel free to raise your hand. You know, I'm still here for questions. I'm feeling good right now. You know what I mean? The energy is up. You know what I'm saying? If anybody has anything you would like to say, just let me know. Just let me know what's going on. Hey, man, and then look, it's crazy because we got a new studio, but then what's even more crazy is like, what comes after this? Like, that'd be the crazy part. You'd be like, what comes after? Like, what's the next step? Like BitBoy crypto level. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be like the background, the digital, like, yeah, is XRP gonna go up? Hedera gonna go up? We're gonna have that money, we're gonna take that money, put it into the marketing, put it into our brand, come on, guys. Let's go. Let's speak it into fruition, man. Y'all come back to episode 102 and remember this day that we spoke that into existence. I love each and every single one of y'all. Thank you for being the greatest part and honestly being the best part of my coffee, man. Like, I thought it was the crypto that was really, but it's the community. I might call this thing community in crypto now. You know what I mean? Community in coffee. You know what I mean? I like the community. It's the community for me. You know what I mean? It's the community. So I appreciate the community. I appreciate the unity. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, feel free to reach out. And I love y'all. Have an amazing day.